over the weekend, and we are ready to rock. So glad to have you join us today. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. The Red 7T's phone line is always open. Red 7T's, your spot for all things custom apparel right here in the Panhandle. Not trying to sound like a weatherman. I really am not. But I will say 77 degrees and clear and beautiful in Panama City Beach, and I love it. As always, on a Monday, I got Jeffrey in here. For all the Facebook users, he's got his Trash Panda shirt on today from Rocket City, which is in Huntsville, Alabama. So, Jeffrey, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's it?
I haven't spent any time in Huntsville ever. Like,
Okay.
I've driven through, and that's about the that's it.
Yeah, well,
Have you stopped off, like, rubbed the rocket that they used to have? The rocket's gone, right?
rub the rocket.
Yeah, the rocket on a...
You rub it?
I don't know what they do. They go look at the rocket, and everybody's, like, so impressed. I'm like... And you know what's the crazy part? The people from above there, I don't know if it's, like, Nashville or Kentucky, whatever. They're like... They see the rocket and they think, we're almost to the beach. And I was like, you're not almost
You're
to the
not
beach.
even
You've
close.
got hours of most of it's Alabama. Almost all
that's
of it's
true.
Alabama.
Almost all of it's Alabama.
Yeah, but that's a pit stop for a lot of people.
And also on a Monday, we got Bone Crusher in the building. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good in the hood. And today, your chance to win
Yes.
$25 to Lone Star Boyle House, $25 that boot store. We're giving away 30 days free membership, Anytime Fitness, 12-pack of Buffalo Rock, and the Golden Season, a must-read for Gator fans. That prize pack today on the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
And we're going to do that at the 5 o'clock hour, just so everybody that's listening, 5 o'clock hour. You guys on Facebook, you can also get on the phone line, too. I think, do we have our Facebook page going? All right. Up and going. My line is slow, so either way, we're going to go to the Red 7T's phone line. We got a big-time person on the line.
Superstar.
I think he is a superstar. Brian Haddad, are you in the building?
I am. Ironically, I was in Huntsville Thursday through Sunday, and I am proud to say I did not rub the rocket.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, because I would be wondering if you did all the rubbing on the rocket.
It's not Howard's Rock.
But then, for those who think it's close to the beach, yeah, it's not, because I drove from Huntsville to Panama City Beach for a half hour and then straight down to Orlando, which is where I'm calling you from right now.
So what's going on in Orlando? Obviously, we'll have Todd on, but give us a little bit of what you're doing in Orlando and how's it going down there?
It's great. So, I mean, beautiful weather, but we're kind of doing the last final touches on the shop, the PCB hobby shop there in Orlando. We were getting, some of the last shelving in and all the merchandise is up. We were pricing it out and getting the sports cards in the cases and the TCG stuff in the cases and the comic books on the shelves. So kind of last button up, stuff where right now it looks like first day open to the public will be on Wednesday. So
Wow.
pretty cool. It's coming around.
So the sign outside, it says PCB Hobby, and it doesn't say anything about Orlando.
No, they know where they are.
I hope so.
Maybe you should get a rocket and let people rub it as they come in. I don't know. I mean, it seems like that might be the way to go.
Yeah, that one's going to make Jeff's best or top 5 list, rubbing the rocket.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So over the weekend, we got the awesome opportunity to watch the NFL Combine. A lot to talk about there. The first thing, right out the gate, we got to talk about it, and I want to see what you guys think about it. Obviously, it being in Indianapolis, Indiana, and at the Lucas Oil Stadium right there, the Colts Stadium, and, soon as Fernando Mendoza steps in the building, they announce his name, the place erupts, and on the flip side, whenever they announced Carson Beck to start throwing, the boos come out. And not only did they come out when he first came out to throw, it continued the whole time. It was like 20 minutes of every time he had opportunity to throw, they booed him, to the point to where the coordinators of the event stopped putting his name on the Jumbotron and stopped putting his face on the Jumbotron. Brian, I'll let you go first. What do you think about that? They're the fans being involved in that. Do you think that's something the NFL is going to look at and maybe change in the future?
I don't know. They like engagement one way or the other. I mean, I think it's pretty petty in the sense that you beat him.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like Miami won and Beck was dunking on Indiana over it. I mean, you guys beat him. He threw the pick at the end of the game. It was kind of petty and small, but I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the combine in general. I think it's been called the underwear Olympics. That's kind of what it is. I'm just not a big fan, but I don't know. I mean, they'll probably try and mitigate a situation where, you know, a kid who's just out there trying to show his skills to get a job doesn't, you know, receive a response like that. But, you know, imagine Diego Pavia probably would have loved it and would have egged it on. Yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those things. How are you going to tell the fans who pay to come into something they can't boo or cheer? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I like the combine, and I know it's not at what it used to be, but it's still, 80% of what it used to be, where the Senior Bowl and East-West Shrine game and everything that we've had before as far as performance goes, those are relics. I mean, they're very little of what they used to be. The stature is definitely lost on those games.
Yeah, that's
true. Here's why I don't like it, though, and it's not that they have 50 cameras on every game of everything that these kids do now. And so to me, if you're an NFL scout and you've watched this guy play their entire career of football games, are you really going to see something when they're in a T-shirt and shorts that's going to tell you something different? To me, the only thing the combine is going to tell me is how quickly or how poorly somebody is recovering from an injury. That's it. I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. I don't think there's anything you're going to see in that environment that's going to or should tell you more than anything you can see from game film.
But what about effort? And what I mean by effort is these guys have to do something in preparation for the combine to look good. Are these guys getting their steak and then not worried about working for the rest of their life as far as like they've gotten to the NFL and they're just going to sit and not put any effort in?
I mean, yeah, but I think too that, you know, when you look at how they really politicize the running, you know, the running. Obviously, they do other drills, but they really emphasize the 40-yard dash. I mean, and you know as well as I do, a defensive tackle, an offensive lineman, they can learn how to run. They can knock the time down. They can lose some weight. Yeah. They can do some of that to make their draft stock kind of go up. But obviously, you know, it really don't matter if a guard that weighs 315 pounds can run a 5-flat 40. It doesn't. Yeah. But talking about the quarterback part, let's talk about that part, because the fastest quarterback probably that we've seen in a long time is Taylor Green out of Arkansas. Yeah. And I mean, I don't even know if he's helped himself by doing that. I mean, really, are they going to draft him now in the 7th round instead of the last Mr. Irrelevant? Because, I mean, he's not been one that everybody's talked about. Nobody's talking about Taylor Green.
The first half of the season I was talking about him because we kept on talking about who's the best quarterback in the SEC, and his name slipped into it, and then the Missouri guy did too. I don't remember his name right now. Seriously.
Yeah. Bo Pribula. Yeah. I mean,
Pribula.
But look, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like we all know who played the game or coached it. There's fast and there's fast in pads. Yeah. Now, I think Taylor Green is both. He's not the example I'm reaching for here, but that's what I mean. The combine physically does not create environments they're going to be playing in the NFL. To me, the one thing that happened around the combine that was useful were the psychological profiles and the Wonderlic and this, that, or the other. Now, some of that's a little bit over the edge, but you might get a sense for in the days where these kids weren't in NIL. They weren't dealing with contracts. They weren't dealing with agents. They weren't dealing with these things. How are they going to adapt to life when you start getting a pile of money, this, that, and the other? The funny thing is, nowadays, they're already attuned to that as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just not sure. You're not creating the environment at the combine that they're going to have on the field in the NFL. The greatest correlation is what they dealt with on the field in major college football. So I just it's not a bad thing. I just don't think it really tells you anything.
No, it doesn't, because even like when you watch their throwing, outside of the 40, if you watch Diego Pavia throw, he's not going to stand out for how strong his arm is, but can he lead somebody on a 40, 50-yard, fly down the center of the field? Yeah, he can, and he did. But to, say whatever, I mean, if you look at what Carson Beck did, one of our listeners on the Red 7Ts line texted, but he was dropping dimes, and he was. And one of the things about him is that they were talking about how big his legs were, how strong looking he looked. And it's like, you don't know, that might have been something that pulls him up, because Ty Simpson threw, Fernando Mendoza did not throw. Everybody knows that Fernando's going to throw at his pro day, and he's going to throw to his guys. But, Ty Simpson was dropping the ball where he's supposed to. He looked the part. And that's the thing. Like, are they going to really, is it really going to, point at that moment of the NFL Combine that says, hey, the reason why the Steelers are taking you at number 17 or 18 or 15 or whatever team is because you threw a 50-yard bomb in Indianapolis and boom, that was why. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do it at all. To get back to Carson Beck, though, how funny would it be if in the second or third round, the Indianapolis Colts were to draft Carson Beck? Because they're looking.
That would be good.
I mean, they're looking.
I thought you were going to say going back to Georgia and play for the Falcons.
That too. I mean,
possibility.
But I mean, with that being said, it kind of lends to what Brian was saying. You've got Taylor Green, and then you've got the running back who's from Arkansas as well, that had the fastest time. And it's like
as a running back.
As a running back. Yeah. So you got the fastest running back and the fastest quarterback in the whole, college football, but you couldn't score a lot of touchdowns.
I know. Well, in the first half they did really well. Arkansas did really well offensively, but then not the second half.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's the thing. Now, Brian, what do you think about them giving the measurements? Because obviously, Joe Burrow on Saturday went to X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and wrote, just watching the combine with my small hands.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Joe Burrow is a great example of this. If you put him in a 40, he wouldn't wow you. If you put him in some shuttle, drill, he wouldn't wow you. But he has easily one of the top 5 pocket awareness and able to find a space in the pocket, step up, step right, step left, step back, escapability that I've seen in my life. And you wouldn't think that that's not going to come out running a 40 in a T-shirt and shorts or anything like that. That's going to come out watching game film. So again, Tom Brady, what did he run, a 5.1?
Yeah. Yeah,
but he was the same thing. He was really good at being able to find little spaces in the pocket, like that. So, I don't get the measurable. I don't care about the vertical. I don't care about the 40 time. I mean, it's fun, like it's a good skills day, but it doesn't tell me anything, because everything I'm going to want to see from a player, I'm going to get from watching game film. The only thing you might get is from a guy at a very small school who you really don't know how he does. You might get some understanding of his coachability in the combine. You also will get that in practice at Senior Bowl, and that's where you see guys move up. They don't move up during the game. They move up during the week of practice with the NFL coaches. So, it's hard. Look, you're taking a chance, because you're hoping that you create the right environment. And we know every NFL environment's not perfect. Brett Favre was nothing with the Falcons. goes to the Packers, it was the perfect situation for him. Tom Brady ended up in the perfect situation for him. So some of it, you're taking a chance based on the best information you can get. I just think you get that from game film more than you do from the combine.
Yeah, and I think, maybe what someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone was saying, well, the reason behind is you want to see the athleticism, you want to see what they can do, and then you watch the game film according to that. But I will say this, I think one person was, obviously there's going to be more than one winner here, but I do think one worth talking about, and if you watch game film, he stands out like a sore thumb as well, and that's Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end for Oregon. He ran the fastest 40 for tight ends in the history of the combine. He ran a 4.39 40. I think he's a 240-pound tight end, probably 6'3", 6'4", just a mammoth of a guy. But if you look at it, a lot of things happened with Oregon that the ball was always trying to find him, and he's one of those guys that's going to benefit. He's probably going to be one of those guys that they're going to say, oh, where he come in on the combine, that was where, he solidified himself because he already had the game film to go along with it. And that's, sure. I think maybe that part of it, it kind of helps them move up a little bit. So I think he's going to be one of them that you'll talk about because of the combine, because of how great he looked.
Well, the Alabama offensive tackle Proctor, I don't know where he was going before this, but he's definitely increased his draftability.
Yeah, and being able to move and be athletic, I think that's a big deal. But, it's still at the end of the day, the guy that gets under the bench and does it, 38 times and almost breaks the record, then you're like, okay, well, this guy's super strong. If we can help him move his feet, then yeah.
So here's what it is, ultimately, and this is the truth. Every coach of every sport at every level believes, give me somebody with the things that I can't coach, and I can teach them the rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every one of them believes that.
Yeah.
So if you have a guy, okay, he's got a 56-inch vertical jump, he can run a 4.19 40 or something like that. It's like, okay, those are the things I can't coach. I can teach him everything else. The problem with that a lot of times is, look at Proctor, who I love. I think he's a great thing. But if you're looking at him and you're seeing all these measurables all of a sudden, and you're going, oh, okay, get him into my program and I can coach him up. You don't think he had great coaches at Alabama?
Right.
Maybe he just kind of is what he is. And he's not bad. Don't get me wrong. He's a first-round pick. But I don't see anything new in his vertical, in his shuttle, in his 40, anything like that, to me, that's going to change my mind. I do think sometimes that can be coaches going, wow, I'm impressed by a talent thing that I don't have any control over. You give me that, and I because I'm the greatest coach that's ever lived, I can figure out the rest.
Yeah, no, and that's it.
Out that way.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And when you look at Proctor specifically, if you're an Alabama fan like I am, you've seen him get blown off the ball, even though as fast as he is, athletic as he is, all of those tangible things that they do at the combine, there's times that he just flat out whiffed on the edge.
That's right.
And which is, that's how it works. But it almost makes me think of Evan Neal, and I'm a little bit worried about him.
I wouldn't say I'm worried. I mean, he's going to have his moments. We saw the guy in the Super Bowl. I mean, it was a first-round pick, and he made some mistakes. And you know what? We've kind of forgotten that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've kind of forgotten that rookies do that.
Yeah.
And Proctor's going to, but I think he's definitely a first-round kind of talent.
Mm-hmm.
I also think, based on his game film, he's a first-round kind of player. But he's not going to be perfect. He's not going to be the greatest, offensive line. He's not going to be an Anthony Munoz or a Joe Thomas or a guy like that. But he's going to be, an 8 to 10 year NFL player in my estimation.
Yeah.
But I say that based on what I saw him in game film and watching him through the years.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to dive into a little bit more about it and talk about what college team really won the NFL Combine. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
in now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The number 7 Florida Gators are on a 9-game winning streak.
What a pass. And the big guy Condon running the floor for the dunk.
Poised to clinch the division, but first, the Gators have to get past Josh Hubbard and the dangerous Mississippi State Bulldogs. Coverage starts tomorrow at 6:30, tip-off at 7 on your spot for Florida Gator basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Sunny the rest of the day with a gentle breeze coming out of the south-southeast around 8 miles per hour and temps near 72. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and a wind speed of 7 miles per hour and be warm at 59. Sunny tomorrow and a high 74 with a gentle breeze. Sunshine Wednesday with a temp of 74. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia during the President's Day sales event going on now and drive away in a new Kia. Now offering 0% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Telluride. There are a few left on the lot, so stop by for a test drive. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The road is yours. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll give you the perfect peace of mind that you can trust. Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Telluride with $20.83 per month per $1,000 financed in 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot combine with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/2/26.
ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results.
Hi, this is Todd from PCB Hobby on Back Beach. Advertising with ESPN Northwest Florida has been a wonderful experience. Their staff is very knowledgeable and friendly. If you want to talk with customers like you never thought possible, reach out to the team at ESPN Northwest Florida. 850-215-4468.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida. 850-215-4468.
Beyond the score. Beyond the headlines.
Double play.
Our coverage goes deep.
Highway robbery.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for college basketball right here in the Panhandle. Don't forget tomorrow night, Florida versus Mississippi State. Coverage starts at 6:30. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be. 850-215-6290. We are going to go ahead and go to the Red 7T's phone line. We've got Brian on the line as well as Mike. How you doing today, Mike?
Hey, Paul. I'm fine. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
What I wanted to talk about, did any of the Cleveland Browns players go to the combine? Did the Cleveland Browns send any players through the combine? You know,
the Cleveland Browns, did they send any of their coaches to the combine to watch the college players?
yeah.
Yeah, everybody was there except for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's the team that did not come to the combine this year. They decided not to. I don't know if they were just going to, it's kind of like what Brian was saying. They've got so much game film to watch that they can kind of figure it out before showing up and doing something like that.
All right. Now, I've got a question for you. What do you think is going to be the outcome of I want to talk about baseball. What do you think is going to be the outcome of the new rules in baseball this year? Where the balls and strikes and the managers can challenge, and if they lose one or two of them, what do you think how do you think that new system is going to work out?
Well, they've been doing it in the minor leagues, and we are going to talk about it probably at the top of the hour a little bit because when you look at it, realistically, they just want to get it right. I think that they're just giving it a test run right now. They're going to let it run into the season. I think it'll be okay. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think for most part, it's just going to kind of be one of those things that we'll just kind of get used to. I don't think it's going to be so significant. Now, I don't want them to change the game where they just have the computer being the umpire. Now, I don't want that at all. I hope they never take away the umpire, but I think it'll be okay.
No, because the umpire is what keeps the game moving along, and I don't understand why they're having this balls and strike system. Is it to speed up the game, or what do you think?
Well, last year was the worst graded umpires that they've had in the times that they've been keeping track. Last year was some of the worst calls, blown calls, missed calls, and I think Major League Baseball is just trying to get it right, to kind of hone it in, and it is what it is. You got to be able to deal with it. I mean, like my son plays, and you're going to have from tournament to tournament, you're going to have different umpires that are going to have different strike zones that are going to call high, low, inside, outside, and you just kind of have to deal with it. Does it hurt the kid? Yeah. Does it hurt the batter? I think so. I think it hurts the pitcher too, because you're not giving them a real strike. And so, the game is for them to develop. But when you're at that level, I think you should get it right. I don't think it should be based off of how you feel or what you think is right or left or strike or ball.
Let me leave you with one more thought, Paul. Some of the best umpires back in the days was Judge Trinard, Lee Wire, Big Eric Griggs, Big John Messeri, and Country Joe West. And you don't get umpires like you did back in the olden days. I like the old umpires back when they big booming voices called out balls and strikes, and you heard them on the radio. Strike one, strike two, strike three. Nowadays, you barely hear the umpire call balls and strikes. I like the old days when baseball had the gun umpires. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I agree with you on the boisterous, loud ones, and the one thing that you said that I totally 100% disagree with is that, yes, Joe West was good in his early years, but as he got older, he was a crotchety old man, and Joe should have left a long time ago. If you're going to talk about him and Hernandez, both of them guys should have been gone a long time ago.
But you know what Joe West does for a living right now? He's a country music singer. What? Joe West.
I didn't know that. The other thing about it is that I like the umpires to let the managers get away with a lot more. I don't like them throwing them out so quick and so early on the games.
You're that ruins the game if you throw them out too quick.
Yeah.
That's like some managers that I know, like Terry Francona for the Reds, he's a third baby. So he'll go out and he'll go out.
Well, and that's the thing. I can't. I like them to get going. I like them to get in each other's face. If they're going to get one, if they're going to throw them out of the game, I want them to get their money's worth. I want them to throw a base. I want them to kick dirt on them, and But that's just me.
So is that okay for baseball, but it's not okay for basketball, or are you okay with the basketball?
I'm okay.
In the referee's face.
I'm okay with them as far as with it being a certain limitation. I mean, basketball, they're fighting more than they do baseball, I think. Basketball fights a lot more.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, we sure do appreciate the call, my friend. Brian, I don't know if you were able to hear any of that. I know you're a baseball fan. What do you think about the whole putting the, letting them do the balls and strikes? I mean, are you for that or against it? Yeah, I think we're going to have to.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. And we'll talk about it in a minute. Let's go back to our combine. I think, Brian, I think your phone line's messed up, or ours is, or a Bone Crusher did it. I think that's what I'm going to go with this time. But Jeffrey, when you look at, let me ask you this: Carnell Tate for Ohio State. Obviously, a lot was said about his 4.5 time as a wide receiver, being a first-round draft pick so far. Everybody has put them in. What do you think is? You think that hurts him? I mean, running a 4.5.
I mean, you're a defensive player. You know, it's not like you're a running back or a wide receiver. No,
right? Carnell Tate's a wide receiver.
Oh, Carnell Tate. Oh, yeah, I was thinking
Arvell Reese.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. Yeah, no, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I don't want to say you have to be a track runner, but yeah, Tate's a wide receiver, so he needs the speed.
So is it going to? I mean, we're only talking 1/10 of a second, though. A 4.5 to 4.4
over 40
is
yards.
A tenth of a second,
and you get multiple shots at it. It's not like you just run it once and okay, that's your time. No, you get to run it a second and third time, right?
Yeah,
and they take your best time.
Right.
This is the best you can do. This is your bread and butter. I know you have to catch the ball. That's a big deal. But you have to have speed in order to get open. Otherwise, you got guys smothering you. That's why they call them shutdown corners, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 4.5 to 4.4, and then you got a 4.49, and you got a 4.48, and it's just like, are we splitting hairs here? Because at the end of the day, you said it at the beginning, it's for the person that can go up and catch the ball. And that's the thing. Me getting 1/10 of a second faster than you as a cornerback is really not going to make that big of a difference. Not to me. Not running out there by yourself, doing a 40-yard dash.
Well, I mean, you had another wide receiver for Ohio State that was better than you. So now you're wide receiver 2, and your time's not good? This is not a good look.
So you don't think he's going to – you think he's still going to get drafted in the first 15? Because you know what he's going to do. He's going to go to Ohio State, do his pro day, and he's going to run a 4.45 or something like that. Watch.
Oh, you think it's going to be rigged?
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it's rigged.
Maybe.
But I do think a little bit of home cooking is going to be making that clock go a little bit slower than it was.
Can you do that for me on Friday?
I think we're going to have to.
You're going to have to because I'm look like a big lug.
Brian, what do you think about that? Carnell Tate, 4.5 40, top wide receiver in the draft. Everybody's got him on his big board. Do you think that 0.1% is going to hurt him?
It doesn't help. I'm not sure it's going to hurt because what I would do is I would just go to game film of when he played the best corners he faced all year. And I would see. Like for me, the most valuable game film on Mendoza is when he was up against Mesidor and Bain.
Yeah.
And he struggled at times, but I love how he fought through it and then did. Like, that was very valuable to me. The only thing I would say that's a little bit different when it comes to Tate is you may not get all of that information because exactly what you guys were saying. They were keying on Jeremiah Smith all year.
All year.
And so it's going to be hard to say he went up against NFL-level DBs that often because a lot of times those were the guys shadowing Smith. So they're going to have to look at it. So it might actually affect Tate more than it would another number one. But you have to look at multiple pieces of information. I wouldn't look at just his 40 time and it bother me. But it would be in the back of my head just a little bit because of all those other factors.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me. That's what I said on Friday when we were discussing it a little bit. That's exactly it. They were double-teaming Jeremiah Smith for the most part of the year. Tate was the benefactor of that. And then if you look at it, the national championship game against, what a lot of people said could have been the best defense that they faced all year, or not the national championship game, but when they played against Indiana in the semifinal game, they threw the ball to Jeremiah Smith a bunch of times and threw the ball to Carnell Tate twice, and I think he caught one of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like I said, you got to look at a lot of things, but it may have more of an impact there just because of all of those factors. Hey, let me add something before I forget. I heard you say that ESPN's covering the Florida-Mississippi State basketball game tomorrow night.
Yep.
Y'all need to add a trigger warning because that's going to be a bloodbath.
Well,
my Bulldogs are going to get abused tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, if you listen to if you watched any of that game on Saturday, like I did, it was atrocious. We're going to talk about it.
It was only 111 to 77. What are y'all talking about?
Yeah, I got you.
And Arkansas was number 2.
In the SEC.
In the SEC.
I know.
And they still have a shot at the 2nd or 3rd seed.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about it at the beginning of the hour, but, I mean, you're exactly right. They look so good.
I just had to get that in.
Yeah.
That's one I'm not even going to listen to.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
Yep.
If you could look at all of the teams in college, who would you say won? As far as, because there was a lot of talent out there. There was a lot of people that surprised people. You know, Jeff already picked Arkansas. He felt like they were the one that won because of their 40 times. I mean, the fastest running back, the fastest quarterback. That's what he went with. If you could say a team that you thought really done well for themselves, who would that be, Brian?
If you had to pick something like that, you'd have to say an Arkansas. But in a way, I think you say Arkansas lost if they have this talent that shows out and they had such a rotten year.
Yeah.
You know, and granted, there was coach was on the hot seat from the beginning of the year. It didn't start well, and then it just kind of fell apart. And so that's going to have an effect. And I think what happens, it's less that these guys really stepped up at the combine and showed out. It's more that they reminded people, hey, we actually – we were pretty good all along. You just weren't following us because we weren't playing very good football as a team. So, but yeah, I mean, the guys who probably did the best, you would have to say, are the Arkansas guys. I mean, the kid at Mississippi State ran a 4.26.
Yeah,
and I don't even know his name, and I went there.
Now that was the number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I mean. You know, all Mississippi State did this year was run away from victory. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big combine guy. So it's hard for me to say anybody won, but I mean, if you have to pin me down, I guess Arkansas is as good as any.
I'm going to go with Ohio State. Let me tell you why. It's because of defensive players. They really look really good. The Reese, Sonny Styles, all of those guys look really good.
But,
you know, and
let me tell you why they should. Who was their defensive coordinator this year?
Matt Patricia.
They should be. And I'm not taking anything away from them. But they've had a year of an NFL, a top-line NFL defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So they should be good at all the things that you would want to see in the pros. So that's why coaching does matter so much.
Let me say this, too, just so y'all kind of get an idea to maybe change your mind about Carnell Tate, because I did highlight this. I wanted to share this with y'all. I'm going to give y'all some names and numbers of what these guys in the NFL ran in their combine. CeeDee Lamb ran a 4.5. T. Higgins ran a 4.59. Keenan Allen ran a 4.58. Cooper Kupp ran a 4.62. Devontae Adams ran a 4.56, and a DeAndre Hopkins ran a 4.57. So
let me beat Jeff to the punch on this one because he's probably ready with the same comment. How many of those guys were wide receiver 2 on their college team?
None.
None of them were.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you shouldn't take Tate. I think he's a special talent. I'm just saying I'm looking a little harder at the film because of all those factors.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough.
All right, let me clue us all in because I didn't even think about this. I said the first half of Arkansas' season, but let me tell you about what Green has done. Green was the leading passer in the first 10 games of the year. And then he got injured in the 11th game, which they scored 37 on Texas. Okay?
He almost single-handedly beat A&M.
Yeah.
I watched that game. I mean, it was amazing.
They put 42 on A&M and lost. They scored 52, 56, 35 on Ole Miss, 31 on Memphis. Then they got shut down by Notre Dame in their worst offensive performance of the year. Then they put 31 on Tennessee, 42 on Texas A&M, 24 on an Auburn team who had a great defense, right? 35 on Mississippi State, and then only 22 on LSU. Those are the 10 games that Green started and finished the game. And he was also the leading rusher in 3 of those 10 games that he started. He was the leading rusher. So that says a lot about their offense. That's all they had. And on a normal team, they would not go 2-10. That defense was atrocious.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree with you. We're going to go ahead and go to the Red 7T's phone line. We got Hurricane Bobby on the line. Bobby, how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing great. I just got off work. It's Monday. If we could just get Monday and Tuesday to go by as fast as Saturday and Sunday, our weeks would be gravy.
You're not kidding. Let me ask you this. I know you heard about it. If you haven't, I'm telling you about it right now. Carson Beck, how did that make you feel with Indiana fans booing Carson Beck the whole single time, every time he threw a pass while he was in Indianapolis over the weekend at the Combine?
But he was dropping dimes. He was dropping dimes. I know that pissed him off even worse. His passes that I watched were money.
Yeah, do you think he's going to reunite with Monken with the Cleveland Browns and go up there and play with them, or do you think they're going with Shadur Sanders?
How many quarterbacks could Cleveland keep on? I'm asking a question.
They had 4.
For a friend.
Yeah, they had 4 last year.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God, dude. Come on. But I want to give a shout out to my man, Markel Bell.
Yeah.
The man is 6'9", 360 pounds, and ran a 5.3 40.
I know. We're trying not to say that kind of stuff, Bobby, because
But why do you make an offensive lineman run a 40?
They just want to show them how athletic they are.
No. Dude, I coached football for 20 years. I want my kids to be sudden. There's a difference between speed and sudden. I want them off the line of scrimmage and three-point stance. I want to know how fast you can run 10 yards. Not 40.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know if you've heard about this or not. We kind of didn't go with the bigger guys talking about what they ran. And the reason is me and Jeffrey are going to be running on Friday morning the 40 over at Mosley High School. And
they're going to time y'all with a calendar?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, they're going to bust out 2026, 2027.
Yeah, they are, for sure.
He finished here, he finished that. But anyway, man, I just want to buzz in. I didn't watch much of the Underwear Olympics, but when I did turn it on, it was the big boys. And then I saw Carson Beck throw. Man, threw some dimes, man. I didn't really agree with Miami signing him, and he did. Man, he messed up a little bit, but he did great a little bit. But Mensa and that De'Ron Coleman we got coming in, and Miami's stacking up in recruits, bro. I won't be surprised if we don't finish with no one recruit class.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Bobby, I hate to cut you off, man. We got to go to our next break.
You're good.
All right, my friend.
Love y'all, man.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Well, when we come back, we'll discuss a little bit more of this. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the most college basketball.
Three-pointer, punch it in. College basketball is back.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
The SEC, ACC, and beyond.
Oh, he saw that coming, Rampant.
The biggest games play right here.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good luck surviving the offseason, football fans.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Football's over, it's like a part of me just died inside. 200 days till football's back, but tonight I won't just cry, cause I've got a ways to play. And that's the place with Hard Rock Bet, I will survive.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Are you living with chronic pain, anxiety, or sleepless nights? You don't have to just get by. You deserve to thrive. At Thrive Alternative Medicine on Panama City Beach Parkway, Dr. Laughlin and counselor Suzanne Clark provide a compassionate path to relief. From medical marijuana card certifications to professional mental health counseling, managing conditions like PTSD, chronic pain, and the complexities of cancer. Book online at thrivealternativemedicine.com. Thrivealternativemedicine.com. Find the relief you deserve.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
The rack. Layup good and wide. Off the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. This is the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. He dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
It's the Florida Gators versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Tip-off tomorrow at 7 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Local roots, global reach.
Working it from three.
The Sports Blitz never stops. And Paul Wilson has the mic.
The only way an LSU player can win the Heisman is they come from another team.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back. We're live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. 74 right here in Panama City Beach, Florida. Beautiful. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. We got Brian Haddad on the microphone. We got Jeffrey here in the building. Bone Crusher's here. Jeffrey, you wanted to say something about the measurements at the NFL Combine. What is it that you want to say?
You always talk about height.
Yeah.
And these quarterbacks, and Diego Pavia is not going to be anything because he's not whatever height you want him to be. And is a standard 6'2" or is it 6'3"?
It has to be 6'2" or 6'3", just because Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa, and some of your other shorter guys.
So your guy, Ty Simpson, 6'1" and 1/8.
Yeah.
Garrett Nussmeier, 6'2" flat. No quarter of an inch or no nothing. He's just 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
Carson Beck, 6'4" and 3/4.
So almost 6'5".
That's pretty impressive. Now, you want to talk about the 0.1 on the 40, but an extra inch kind of makes you look really good as a quarterback.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what quarterback's not going to be anything, and he's tall as heck.
Who?
Drew Allar. 6'5" and 1/4. And I've always said this guy is not that good.
You've hated him from day one.
I have for years. 3 years has been. They keep on talking about him. I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? He ain't that good. And then they keep on talking. Penn State guys could not stop talking about this guy. And he's 6'5", 3/4. Well, apparently your height is not everything. Or maybe there's just like a threshold where 6'3", 6'4" is the best you can do. Once you hit 6'5", you're just some big lanky guy. Because I think there was a guy from Memphis one time who was really tall.
Yeah, he was 6'6".
And he went to the Broncos?
Yeah, Paxton.
Yeah, Paxson, right?
Yeah.
OT. Yeah. And where's he at now? I don't know if he's still in the league.
He's not.
He's probably in Europe.
I don't think he is. I think he talks on the microphone or something in Memphis or something like that. But we're going to go ahead and go to the Red 7T's phone line. We got Big Nate on the line. Nate, how you doing today, my friend?
Hey, Paul and the crew, just kicking it live, man, right here in Southport.
They got a new baseball facility over there in Southport. They're going to be opening up this weekend. I know it's a big thing over there. That's like having a Dollar General being built.
Yeah, they like their baseball out here in Southport for sure.
Yeah, so shout out to them. They're going to have a grand opening, I think, over the weekend. So did you check out the Combine? Were you happy with any of your guys?
Well, I'm looking at my dudes, and, I was disappointed that some of them didn't get to participate as much as they wanted. You were just talking about Ty being a little short.
Yeah.
I'm not so concerned with his height as I am his weight.
Yeah.
That boy needs to hit the weight room hard. 211, too skinny for this. I'm sorry. I mean, he get hit one time from a linebacker, he can break it in half. So, yeah, no, he needs to thicken up. He needs to put at least 15 pounds of muscle on.
So Nussmeier came in at 203. Carson Beck at 233.
Right, and I'm telling you right now that's too small. And it just is. unless you can move real fast. And Ty didn't run the 40, so we don't know how quick he is. But he can throw the ball if you can protect him. So, if he goes to a team with a decent line and has good pass protection, he might be able to get it out there. But it looks like if he's going to go anywhere, I'm thinking probably Pittsburgh.
Yeah. That's what everybody's saying. Would y'all be surprised? Would y'all be surprised if I said and made a statement that the second best quarterback that's going to have the most yards in this draft is Carson Beck? How crazy of an idea would that make you?
That's not crazy.
That's not crazy at all.
That's probably pretty spot on. So, it really depends on where he goes and how much he gets to play.
Yeah.
So, I don't think the quarterback class was, it was probably exactly what they expected. Yeah, you've got the one, and then you got a couple of guys that people are going to take a chance on, but most of them aren't going to pan out. The thing that I was really impressed with, though, man, there's a lot of really good linemen in this draft.
Yeah, you're right. There is, and there are a lot of big ones and very athletic. So this year's draft is going to be a little bit different because you're going to see all these defensive players hitting the first rounds, but you're also going to start seeing those guys that you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know he got drafted in the second round. No, I didn't know he got drafted in the third round. But then you're going to see on Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football, whatever, when they start saying their name and they got the R beside their name, and you're going to be like, oh, that guy was drafted in the third round. I remember him. He had a good combine. He's real athletic, and he's starting somewhere in the NFL.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, and this is just because I know how the Raiders operate, because I've been a fan for off and on for a bunch of years. What if they were to take a running back, keep Geno, really double down, get themselves some veteran linemen to protect, and they go for that guy from Notre Dame at number 1?
I wouldn't do it. Let me tell you why. Because
I wouldn't do it either, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did something like that.
Yeah, if I was going to take a running back, I would go ahead and trade and get me some draft picks. That's what I would do, and I would try to build behind what I've got, and then maybe hope that next year I would get me a quarterback for the future, because there's going to be so many available. Now, again, not sure how they're going to pan out. We thought this year's quarterback class was going to be pretty good, pretty solid coming in, but realistically, we only had one, and now we're talking about Carson Beck, who we really didn't talk about much, but just a little bit. So I don't really know. I think realistically, if I was the Raiders, I would go ahead and trade it. I think they're going to probably maybe move off Max Crosby. If they do move off Max Crosby, what a way to get more draft picks for next year and stack it up and do exactly what you're talking about, kind of do the build outside and then get your guy next year.
Yeah, well, I don't see them moving Geno unless somebody wants to pay for him. If they can protect Geno, he can do the job. I know he can because I've seen him do it. So maybe stock up on the line and then get ready for the draft next year to pick up a quarterback. I don't know.
And, really, they could get some defensive help, especially if they do end up trading Max Crosby, because, you got the Chiefs, you got the Eagles, you got the Patriots. All of them are all giving inquiries about him. Who knows if he wants to leave or not, but if you go with Mendoza here, you're going to be stuck with Mendoza, and then next year, who knows? Can Mendoza, with that line that they have currently right now, no. Can he be effective?
There's no way.
That's what I'm saying.
No way.
That's what I'm saying.
You're going to get him hurt if you keep that line. So if anything, I'd go out and get your most available, biggest lineman that you could pick up. They don't have a lot of cap space either. This is the problem. They're in a bad situation, and they're going to have to figure their way out of it. So
yeah, and I don't think Geno is the worst quarterback in the NFL.
But if you're going to run first, if you're running the same thing that Kubi's coming in, and he's going to run the same thing they did in Seattle, Geno can run that offense. I know he can. He was designed for him to do that, hand the ball off and make throws as needed, short completions for first downs. He can do that all day long and take a deep shot. He can throw the long ball. I've seen him do that too. But you got to give him time. He was pulling himself off the ground all season last year.
You got to have somebody to catch it, too.
I hate to tell you, but
That's true.
I hate to tell you, but I think the Arizona Cardinals have more talent than the Raiders do. And, but the Cardinals are in a worse situation because with the emergence of the Seahawks, now you got not just the Rams and the 49ers, but you got the Seahawks, and you got to play 6 games in your division. Don't get me wrong, the Raiders have a tough division too. With the emergence of the Broncos, now you got Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos, and you got 6 games there. These two teams are in a similar situation, and I'm not sure there's any hope for them. I don't see them making the playoffs this year or next year.
Well, they're not going to make the playoffs, but if they're going to go anything, they probably stack their defense, try to just keep it low scoring, and get a good kicker, and try to do the best you can until they can get a better quarterback next year. And I hate rookie quarterbacks. I just can't stand them. I don't like throwing them out there like that. I mean, Patrick Mahomes got groomed to be Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, no, you're right. Well, we're bumped up against the break, Nate. Thank you so much, my friend, for calling. We appreciate and value you, man. I think he's gone. But listen, he's right. If you look at it, the ones that have really done well are the ones that are sitting back a little bit. They don't immediately go out there and play. They don't. They don't. It doesn't work out. It usually does not work out. So if Mendoza's going to come in, obviously Geno Smith's not the future, but let him sit. But man, I just don't see why they would even hold him. I think they should get draft picks and just go after these guys. Try to get those guys from Ohio State. Try to get those guys from Georgia. Try to get those guys that are Sadiq. Well, they already got Brock Bowers, so I mean they've got some weapons over there. You got a running back and a tight end right now. You need an offensive line, a defensive line. I'd get rid of Crosby. I'd find me another, somebody else. I'd get me an all-pro offensive lineman. That's what I would do. Either way, when we come back, the prize pack will be distributed. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The number 7 Florida Gators are on a 9-game winning streak.
What a pass. And the big guy Condon running the floor for the dunk.
Poised to clinch the division, but first, the Gators have to get past Josh Hubbard and the dangerous Mississippi State Bulldogs. Coverage starts tomorrow at 6:30, tip-off at 7 on your spot for Florida Gator basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Sunny the rest of the day with a gentle breeze coming out of the south-southeast around 8 miles per hour and temps near 72. Tonight we will have mostly clear skies and a wind speed of 7 miles per hour and be warm at 59. Sunny tomorrow and a high 74 with a gentle breeze. Sunshine Wednesday with a temp of 74. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia during the President's Day sales event going on now and drive away in a new Kia. Now offering 0% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Telluride. There are a few left on the lot, so stop by for a test drive. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The road is yours. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll give you the perfect peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Telluride with $2,083 per month per $1,000 financed in 48 months. Quantities limited, no down payment required. Cannot combine with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/2/26.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. The pulse of the fan. the voice of the game.
Maybe we should go and find another G League player to the Alabama team, and we probably could win.
Local and louder than ever. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's 5 o'clock and it's Monday, and you're locked in right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and we're so happy about it. It's beautiful outside here in Panama City Beach. No matter where you're listening from, we appreciate you. Go on our Facebook page, our YouTube, like, share, subscribe. And don't forget, we got an ESPN Northwest Florida app. You can go on there and listen to us all day, any day. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 70s phone line. We are going to give away the prize pack of the day. It's a $25 Lone Star Bullhouse gift card, a $25 That Boot Store gift card, a 30-day membership at Anytime Fitness, and we've added the Golden Season by Franz Beard, a must-read for Gator fans, especially basketball Gator fans. You want to talk about a book that gives everything about the Gators from last year's team, and great pictures and great illustration is that book. We are going to take caller number, Jeffrey.
Let's go with 9. Last time I was 8.
You went 8, so now it's 9. You are ready now. Boom. It is on right now. 850-215-6290 is the line for the prize pack. We are going right now.
Don't forget, I think Brian's still on the line?
No, Brian's not on the line. He's going to come back at 5:20 to talk about what's going on at PCB Hobby here at the beach and what's going on down there in Orlando, just so you know.
Maybe we can talk a little bit about his teams, because Mississippi State, moving on to baseball season, right?
Yep, they're right there with LSU.
And Southern Miss, number 1 in RPI.
Yeah, really good.
And number 3 in strength of schedule. So Southern Miss has got a good baseball thing going on. They beat Bama.
Yep, they sure did.
Convincingly.
And the thing is like when you look at all of these baseball schools that aren't basketball schools, they start getting to the point to where they just start looking forward to something.
Yeah.
So whatever else is
LSU won Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and play a game today on Monday. 4 days in a row. What are they trying to do? Pitch out their quarterbacks? I mean, their pitchers?
Yeah, they they got it set up to where they do it the right way.
They better have a bullpen like crazy.
Let's talk about some of this NFL news that's coming out. Obviously, today, David Montgomery, one of those running backs that you love with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
You love them.
Yeah.
You thought, man, that guy is so good. Him combined with Gibbs is like really good.
Yeah.
And now he's gone. He's going to the Texans. How does that help that offense that struggled last year? Obviously, they had some running back room committee. It was a running back by committee type deal. It wasn't, one running back every single time. They wasn't great all the time. But it was like just one of those things where it was like, man, this offense with that defense has to be really good, and I don't know. What do you think?
Well, the Texans need to get an offense because that defense is killer, and that's pretty much what they had going for them. And I think they were, the second longest winning streak at the end of the year? The Texans had to run, I don't know how many games to get to the playoffs. I mean, they were kind of average in the first 6-7 weeks, and the Texans came on strong. What does that say going into next year?
Well, it's all going to be circled around who? C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
It's going to be C.J. Stroud. And if they can run the football, and if they've got that running attack going, you know as well as I do, it opens up the passing game. So, I mean, that's just part of the whole spectrum of it all.
So how does this affect the Lions, though? Because that's a tough division.
I think Gibbs is one of those guys. If you watch him play, he's one of those guys that they're going to draft a running back. They're probably going to get a running back. They're going to get somebody, but they're going to be able to feature him. It's just like this. Okay, tell me who's number 2 running back for the Eagles.
I don't know.
Okay. Tell me the second running back for the Chiefs.
No, he's gone.
Who's the second running back for the Raiders?
The Raiders? I don't know.
Who's the second running back for the Bengals?
I mean, there's only like 3 teams in the whole league that have like tandem running backs, right?
No, everybody's got them, but their number one guy, and that's the deal. I don't think it's going to hurt the Lions as much as we think it is. Will it hurt, maybe David Montgomery is a better back than the guy that's coming in, but it's not going to win or lose a game based off of who your second guy is. I mean, he'll spell your first guy, but it won't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, I hope it, Gibbs doesn't go down. That'll really hurt him.
Well, that would definitely be one of those things that everybody would talk about. Now, let me ask you this. It finally came out, and I know we'll have Stone Cold Brian Austin on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Finally come out, George Pickens is going to get the franchise tag.
Yeah.
So I also read where he said that $30 million a year is the number.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I mean, they're handcuffing the guy to the team, is what they're doing to Pickens. Is it going to leave a bad taste in his mouth? I don't know.
Well, I mean, he's got to play this year for him. They've got the rights to him. Yeah, but when you look at how next year goes, but do you think Jerry's going to work a deal out with the guy? Do you think Jerry will be? He's got the same.
Well, you should have
agent.
You should have just go ahead and work. If you're going to work out a contract on him, you should have done it before putting a franchise tag, because you could use that tag on someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's got the same agent as Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
And they had a problem during the Michael Parsons deal because he wouldn't talk to the guy.
Well, now you're wondering if the problem was the agent. And if the problem was the agent, they're in trouble.
Is it the agent or could it be Jerry?
Well, it's always Jerry.
Do you think
and
so?
You can ask Brian that. I mean, perpetually. And the person who takes the credit, when he's the only one what are you doing? Writing checks? That's what you're doing. You know? And you want to be old and stubborn? I'm sorry. I'm not an ageist. I'm not trying to be against old people, but this guy, he needs to stop doing what he's been doing, because obviously the proof is in the pudding. It's been since 1995 season. Since they've been to the Super Bowl, haven't been to a NFC Championship, I think, since then.
Wow,
that's not good. And that's a team that has the support of the fans. I mean, who has more support from the fans in the NFL than the Cowboys? I'm not sure if there's a team out there.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there is either. But the Cowboys have got to figure something out, and that's the deal. Because with him and CeeDee Lamb, their offense was great.
Yeah,
the defense was what couldn't work.
But at some point, CeeDee Lamb's going to age out, just like Des Bryant kind of did. Right?
Yeah.
And then Prescott's not going to be your answer any longer because he's getting older.
When do you think they're going to draft a quarterback? When do you think the time is going to be that Dak is no longer are they going to do a Aaron Rodgers deal? Are they going to do a Brett Favre deal? Are they going to do something like that? No. That they're going to draft somebody, get them in the building for 2 years, let them sit behind Dak for 2 years, then get him out and let this guy take over
next year.
What?
The Cowboys will draft a quarterback next year.
Like a significant, not just a 5th or 6th rounder. They're going to draft a significant guy next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you do know that the Cowboys have talked to Dak, and I know I wrote it down. Dak is going to take a little bit of they're renegotiating his contract, and he took some less money. Yeah, he took a cut to be able to give more money to his players. Now, do you feel like that's something that Dak is doing to help his longevity, or do you think Dak's doing that because he really knows that his time in Dallas is very short, that he's got a couple of years left, and it might not be, is Dak going to be one of those guys that stay in the league for a long time, like goes from team to team and backs up and then comes in and when they're hurt and all that? Or is Dak going to go out after about, 2 years after he's not the starter at Dallas anymore?
I think he will go to one or two other teams after the Cowboys.
I mean, will he be Jameis Winston, or will he be, No.
He won't be Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston's been jumping around the league ever since he left the Saints. And I don't see that happening. I
You don't think so?
1 or 2 years after he's left the Cowboys, he'll jump around to 2 different teams trying to get his starting job back. And he will get starts, but he just won't be their perpetual starter because it's kind of over.
So what do you think about that the Cowboys restructured the contracts of not only Dak, but of CeeDee Lamb and Tyler Smith, who will create $66 million more of room
for now.
For now.
Okay. So some of it's put off.
But they're also going to do the defensive tackles. They're going to reschedule that. Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams, and Osa Igamazuwa, about another $63 million.
So I don't like this strategy because this is what the Saints have done.
They're trying to get it.
They put Breeze all of his payments off and everything to try and get it to win now. And that's not happened for the Cowboys.
So they're clearing up around $129 million so that they can really be
Do you
active.
really believe that it's a win-now situation for the Cowboys?
I mean, Dak doesn't have – you just said they're going to draft another quarterback.
But they are not on the cusp. And I have been wrong before, and I would have never guessed that the Patriots and the Seahawks would be in the Super Bowl. So there I'm wrong, but – the Cowboys, look at them.
But if they get a defense, if Dallas goes heavy defense in this draft and gets those guys,
they better get a Parsons. They better get somebody who's a stud.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
they need a stud on defense. A wrecking ball.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at how they've done it in the past, they haven't been. They haven't been very good in the draft lately.
Yeah.
They've gone out and gotten free agents, but they haven't done anything with the draft. So do you think they're going to do draft or do you think they're going to free agent?
What have they done in free agency? Like 2 wide receivers and that's it?
They brought over
Pickens.
They done
and they had one other guy.
Offensive line. They freed up money with Parsons.
Yeah.
I don't think Jerry wanted Parsons.
Yeah.
I don't. And so with that being said, I think he done that on purpose. I thought he's trying to bolster up that defensive front without Parsons. That's just my opinion.
Well, I'm not saying it was a mistake. It might have been a mistake on Parsons also. Because, I mean, the Packers aren't utilizing him. He's not the stud he was at the Cowboys.
Oh, he's not.
No, Parsons?
Well, he got hurt.
But before that, though.
Well,
he was not the stud.
The first game of the year, he looked like $1 million. I know it's just one game, but then it seemed like he was hurt. I think he got hurt early on. I think it was that. Now, when you look at him, do you see something that for next year that is going to make the Packers playoff ready?
Well, I thought they were mid-season. And then they got kind of schooled on a Thursday night with the Texans defense. And then they just kind of were up and down after that. I mean, I thought the Packers would have gone at least won one game in the playoffs. And then the Bears are the ones who they've had the number on. And guess who took them out? The Bears.
Let me ask you this. Let's change subjects. Let's change to another team that there's got to be some kind of something going on with them, and that is the Minnesota Vikings. How close do you think the Minnesota Vikings are to making the playoffs with their current roster?
If I had to, just talking about just them making the playoffs, just the playoffs, I say there's a 30% chance of making the playoffs.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you had Kyler Murray, Geno Smith, Tua Tagovailoa, or Kirk Cousins at your quarterback position, are they better?
Well, they're better.
Or worse?
They're better, sure.
All of those are better.
I don't know about Kyler Murray. I really don't know because I've never seen him anywhere else, other than Arizona.
But they don't have a lot of talent in Arizona is what you're saying. But you said earlier that Arizona's got more talent than the Raiders.
Yeah, but that's not a whole lot. That's really bad.
So really, let me ask you this. So playoff or no, Kyler Murray?
No.
Playoff or no, Geno Smith?
That's such a bad year last year. That's the problem. Is you always remember the last thing they did, and that's not make the playoffs. And
so
win 3 games or 2? I can't remember.
So
it was
no.
that. I'm gonna say no.
Tua Tagovailoa, playoffs or no?
I think he'll get a resurgence with the Vikings, and he'll slip in with. I have to look at the schedule, but if they go 10-7, they'll get in the playoffs.
Kirk Cousins, yes or no?
That's a nostalgia type thing. Maybe he catches fire the second go round. There's not many people who do that, though, with the same team.
So it seems like Tua is your pick as far as the guys that are available right now that could be the best for just them or total? Is he the best free agent quarterback right now? Tua Tagovailoa? Are you saying that?
No, I just think that there's certain places where he can have a resurgence and be the comeback player of the year.
But the thing is that Justin Jefferson is a deep ball threat. You throw it up and throw it far, and he goes and gets it. Tua's arm is not very strong.
True.
He throws a lot of slants good. He can throw stuff in the flats. But we've seen with Tyreek Hill, he couldn't throw it. Tyreek would always have to come back. It was like he's playing in the wind, and the wind would always hold the ball up because of the spin rate.
So it would just be a shorter field for Jefferson.
So
run like a 15 slant in, and then go out, and then boom, Jefferson's sitting there, and the timing's right, and the spot on the field is right, and maybe it could work. But it'd have to be the yards after catch, though, for Jefferson.
So do you think there's been some talk, there's been a little bit of talk about Derek Carr coming back. Do you think there's a chance?
No.
You know why there's not a chance? Because the Saints still own the rights, and the Saints said that nobody has talked to them yet.
Yeah.
So does that surprise you?
No. He really was not what he was advertised to be. Well, and he had a couple of glimmers, the Raiders, and then really kind of nothing. He couldn't win games, the Saints.
So Anthony Richardson, now we're going through all these quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson is a guy that have already said, Indianapolis has said, you can go ahead and seek out for your trade. We will trade you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Malik Willis.
Yeah, let's talk about Anthony. I know, but
he didn't cut it out. Maybe Richardson can do something somewhere else.
Why do you like him?
I don't know. It's just his abilities when I saw him on the field in college gave me hope.
He quit.
But then again, Hendon Hooker, same deal with him.
He quit, though.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson quit. He said, I was tired. I don't want to play anymore. Like, that was his literal reason for coming out.
Yeah.
Is he said, I don't want to play anymore. I'm tired. You want that to lead? So,
no, I don't.
So Malik Willis, he taking the Minnesota Vikings to the playoffs?
Oh, goodness. No.
Mac Jones taking them to the playoffs?
Yes.
Jameis Winston taking them to the playoffs?
No. Jameis Winston will never make the playoffs with any team.
Is J.J. McCarthy going to take them to the playoffs?
No, he's not. They'll be 7-10 next year at the best.
If he stays at the helm?
If he stays healthy.
So
and
you don't,
at the helm, yeah.
You don't think J.J. McCarthy is the answer for the Minnesota Vikings?
No, he's not.
Do you
he's
think
the handoff artist?
Within 3 years, do you think J.J. McCarthy will even be in the NFL?
Yes. He'll be a backup somewhere.
All of these guys that I just named, do you think they'll all be backups? Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa, Geno Smith, Mac Jones, Kirk Cousins, Malik Willis. Malik Willis is going to get a job somewhere. He's going to be the one. He's the hottest one out of all of them. Everybody's looking at him. If he goes to the Cardinals, will he die?
Well, Tua and Kirk, it depends where they go to whether they'll be a starting quarterback. But half the places, yeah. I think there's a good possibility.
He's going to go to your Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
And that you're going to be happy about that.
Who, Kirk Cousins?
No, Malik Willis.
Malik Willis? I don't know. I don't know what kind of offense we're going to be running.
But if Quinn Ewers is there,
you know
like
what?
it?
I'm not hating on Quinn Ewers. And, I don't like the Longhorns. So that's tough for me to say, but I think he's got talent.
Well, yeah, he's got talent, but does that talent come on the field when you're playing in the NFL? Do you think he's got enough talent to push the Dolphins ahead of what they were?
I think he's been structurally sound as far as his development has been, and I think he's got the rhythm and everything to be a threat.
I don't know.
I think he's going to be a starter
next year
in the NFL.
Next year.
Maybe this year. Who knows?
Yeah. You think so? But you don't think the
Dolphins got to do something, man.
At the quarterback position,
can't be stuck in third place every year.
Are they going to do something with the quarterback position though?
Yeah, I think the Dolphins are new coach.
I don't know. We'll see. When we come back, we are going to talk with Brian about PCB Hobby and what they've got going on in Orlando and Panama City Beach. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Hurricane Helene.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Monday evening. As we head into tonight, clear skies and a low of 59 with a light breeze out of the east around 7 miles per hour. For tomorrow morning, mostly sunshine and a temp near 73. In the afternoon and evening, sunny and a high around 75. For Wednesday, slight fog and a high of 75. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets.
Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Crawfish season is back, and the heat is on at Lone Star Boil House. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for delicious, mouth-watering Cajun crawfish, shrimp, buttery red royals, and everything crab. Plus, Lone Star Boil House is now serving liquor. Get crawfish 6 days a week, open to close. To-go crawfish also available at the front bar, and crush the follow on Facebook for frequent food and drink specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
The rack, layup, good and one. Off the rim, alley-oop dunk, smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. This is the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack and dumps it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
It's the Florida Gators versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Tip-off tomorrow at 7 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your favorite team is garbage.
Dallas? I don't want you going to Dallas at all.
And we're here to explain why.
That place is crawling with crackheads and debutantes, and half of them play for the Cowboys.
It's time to take out the trash on the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for college basketball. Don't forget, Florida Gator basketball tomorrow against Mississippi State. You don't want to miss it. It's a beautiful day here in Panama City Beach, 77. Sunny. We're so excited about it, too. If you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. Also, you can go on our Facebook page, like it, share, comment, tell us where you're logging in from, and we will definitely read your comments. I would like to read a comment about the book that we've been giving away. It's written by Franz Beard and is as an insider historical perspective from preseason through each game through to the national championship. A must read. It's definitely be a memorable book as well. So it's a collector's item. Those guys know what they're doing when they write. It is awesome. He's a part of the GatorBait.com. So either way, that's a great one. We got Brian back on the line from PCB Hobby. Brian, how's it going, man? Are y'all doing good down in Orlando?
Yeah, it was a busy day, that's for sure. Drew Shell, who I've talked about before, who's going to be our store manager in Orlando. He's been down here doing a lot of the work by himself. up to this point. Todd and Sharon are down here as well, and then I came down for today to kind of help, kind of put the finishing touches on things. So we worked pretty hard in there today. We've got, it almost all the way there. So it's, we just got a couple little things, couple delayed deliveries and stuff like that. As anybody who's ever opened a business knows, those things happen. But no, the shop looks fantastic. It truly, I know Todd said it for months, but literally, Paul, you've been in our shop in Panama City Beach. If you walk in, it is just a slightly smaller version. It looks exactly the same. It's really neat. So,
well, that's really cool, and I'm glad you guys. So that means if you're there, and if the doctor's there, and the captain's there, where y'all eating tonight?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. I need to, Todd wasn't able to jump on with us now, but I need to make him take us to Charlie's Steakhouse or something for that. So.
Yes, make sure you do something good because, gosh, I mean, they're bringing the big dogs down there. They got to get it going. So give us, what's going on in the card market. You got anything releasing this week? I know there's been a lot of hits and a lot of people talking about stuff that come off the top Series 1, and obviously you got the USA baseball getting ready to kick off here soon. Everybody's getting ready to go and report, and it's all going to be a big deal. It wouldn't surprise me if there was something in there about that.
Yeah, in a weird way, there's a lot going on. Even though there's not a ton of good releases this week, it's still kind of a lax week for releases. But baseball is a huge story right now because you're getting the anticipation of the season. Connor Griffin is the hottest thing in the market right now. He was already, the prospector's darling, and then he comes up and hits 3 home runs right out of the gate.
Yep.
And spring training is the time for everyone to lose their minds over the next big thing. So as good as I think he is, be careful, we've seen these every year. So, but we'll see. But baseball is everything right now, and Series 1 being out is so good because it does allow people to go on and get some of the key rookies for the upcoming year. You've already got Bowman draft from, last year's draft, so you have all those guys who are tearing it up in the spring training groups and things like that. So, but by the same token, you've got basketball now is full-fledged.
Yep.
Topps has had Topps Chrome come out. Topps Finest is coming. So you're starting to get more products. It's been a pretty exciting season so far, with rookies, Cooper Flagg, VJ Edgecombe, Dylan Harper, guys like that. And then football, Panini is throwing all of their remaining stuff out now because they lose the license at the beginning of April, so we're about a month away from Topps taking over the football license. So not only will you have top stuff going into the 26 season, they're going to quickly run out some products for the 25 season with Shadur Sanders rookies and Travis Hunter rookies and Jackson Dart rookies, and they'll have autographs and those things. So those will be coming out in April, and before then, Panini's getting out every product they can this month. So it's a crazy time across all of the 3 major sports, not to mention hockey has seen a huge surge in interest because of the gold medal game.
Yeah.
So there's a ton going on in the hobby right now. It's a really exciting time.
So let me ask you this. Would it shock you if Topps were to have a piece of Jack Hughes' teeth in the card? Would that be something crazy?
Knowing Topps, nothing is crazy. They did. So Topps does not actually. It's one of the few licenses they don't own. Upper Deck owns the NHL license, but Topps was able to do what's called Topps Now cards. They put it on their website for 3 days. Typically, is how they do it. And in an international setting, they can do things. And so they had, the great picture with them draped in the American flag and, the half a tooth and this, that, or the other. And they did autographs and different things with that. So, but that's really the only way to get licensed Topps stuff is it can't be NHL. For that, you have to get Upper Deck cards and things. But yeah, Topps leaned into that heavy, and they sold almost 1 million cards of that just off their website. I mean, it was a big, big deal.
So you were talking about the star that everybody's talking about with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I mean, do we have now? Is it going to be him and Skeens? They're going to be the ones that everybody. I mean, are we going to see sellouts at Pittsburgh now because of this guy? Because he's going to be, if he makes the big league roster, he's going to be another 19-year-old being able to be on a major league roster. That's going to be like. He beats King Griffey by like a couple of days, and that's what's crazy. And you know how King Griffey Jr.'s cards went whenever he did that, so now it's going to be a crazy thing.
There's a lot of different factors to that. Number one, you said it, we don't know that he's going to get called up. I mean, he should be, but we'll see. So that would need to happen. Number two, Griffey was a legacy, so there was already that built in. With King Griffey Jr. and everybody knowing his dad. So there is that. It's not that Connor Griffin's not any good, but he's phenomenal, but we'll see. But the other factor is, let's face it, he's with the Pirates.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I hate to say that, now it hasn't hurt Skeen's value. Right. In fact, if anything, it just shows how good he is. And we've seen good players come up through the Pirates, Andrew McCutchen, Jason Kendall, guys like that. But we'll have to see. I mean, Jack Caglianone was ripping through the minors last year. They called him up, and he couldn't hit his weight all of a sudden. And I think he'll be fine long term. But if Jackson Holliday's can't miss guy, they brought him up at the wrong time. It didn't work. When they finally brought him back, it was better. So we'll have to see how Griffin adapts. I mean, he's certainly doing all the right things now. He certainly has the talent. We'll just have to see if it all, kind of works out in the timing and the surroundings when he does come up.
I haven't looked at his measurements. He's a big guy, isn't he? Isn't he a big?
I mean, he's not like O'Neal Cruz big, but I mean, he's solid to be as young as he is. I mean, I think he's from, if I'm remembering right, he's from Mississippi. I want to say Jackson area. I could be misremembering him with another prospect. Trying to keep up with all these prospects is crazy. He's not small, but I mean, he's not like overly, like O'Neal Cruz, like a 6'7" shortstop. He's not anything like that, but he's got great measurable. He's a 5-tool kind of kid. And, right now, I mean, he sees a softball coming to him instead of a golf ball. It's working. So.
And that's the difference between minor league and big leagues. I mean, if you look at it, the big leagues, they play small ball every once in a while, but the minor leagues really don't play small ball because your pitching's not as good. I mean, everybody's good, don't get me wrong, but you got to score runs in minor leagues, so you're going to see a lot better pitching when you get to the bigs. So let me ask you. Yeah, go ahead.
But quickly, let me just add that's why I think it's a little more impressive with the high schoolers.
Yeah.
Because the college guys are going to be a little bit bigger. They've been in better scenarios and settings. They're more physically and mentally mature. So to see, CAGs or those college guys rip through the minors makes a little more sense than a high school kid who's probably only done one or two, summers of wooden bat baseball. So it's pretty impressive when those guys go on a tear.
Now, as far as the World Baseball Classic about to start practicing and all of that, do they ever come out with, any kind of speciality of cards or any kind of things like that? Is Topps going to be able to do that? Have you heard anything like that? Or is it basically just the same stuff that they always do?
They've done it a couple of different ways in the past. They'll do what I was talking about earlier, where there's Topps Now moments. They'll have those, and like I said, anybody can get those from Topps' website, so it's Topps.com. There's their free plug for the day. But yeah, they've done it a couple different ways. They put out a set, I believe, last year. It was very Japan themed, obviously, so it had, kind of different parallels that were kind of Japanese themes and things. They've done them within sets. So I think in 2023, Bowman Chrome did some cards where they had backgrounds of their WBC teams, which is actually where is it Murakami, the guy, the Japanese player just got signed.
Yeah, that's right.
The big hitter. He actually has cards in that because it was part of a little World Baseball Classic insert set. So they've done them as inserts, they've done them as standalones, they do them as tops now. I haven't heard exactly what they plan to do yet for this year, but I imagine we're going to hear in the next couple of weeks.
So give us some stuff that's coming up over at PCB Hobby here in Panama City Beach of the week.
Well, it's March, so we're anxiously anticipating spring breakers coming in. So, but what that means, everybody hears that, it's local and groans and thinks, oh, more traffic. But what it also means is a lot of people are coming down now, and now they've been coming for a while. They know we're here, and they bring a lot of cards to sell. And so what that means for our locals is new inventory. And we get a lot of it during the spring break time. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Also, as spring heats up, you'll start to see more sporting events and tournaments and things that come in. That brings more people to our area. Same thing, more people bringing stuff into the shop. So you're going to see a lot of that. Obviously, as you get closer to the start of the baseball season, you're going to have more and more baseball products rolling out. As I said earlier, Topps picks up the football license in April. They're going to run a slew of 2025 stuff out quick. So, the next couple of weeks and months, it's really going to start to heat up with new products, new singles, new boxes, and things like that available. And if you haven't noticed, silver and gold are, we kind of flushed out the people coming in and going nuts over everything, and it's slowly climbing back to where it was. So it's kind of an exciting time in that as well.
That's surprising. I know you've said it in the past, and maybe I just didn't, I wouldn't say not listening, but I just can't believe that people on vacation, when you're packing your bag, that you're thinking about bringing those cards. And the thing is now, because growing up, we'd take our cards to shops or whatever, but we would have the regular plastic holders. So when you see those guys bringing them, are they bringing them in the real hard, like the graded PSA?
Yeah, sometimes. A lot of times, and we sell these at PCB Hobby, but there's called Zion cases, which are cases kind of specifically designed to the dimensions of, one-touch magnetic holders or graded cards or top-loaded cards or whatever like that. And so a lot of times it looks like a briefcase, essentially, and people will bring those along as well because they're very good at protecting your cards. The reason you'll see people do that on vacation, though, number one, they may not have a real card shop where they're from. So their ability to interact and sell with a card shop a lot of times is when they go on vacation. Number two, because they've been coming to our area, because they've been coming to PCB Hobby, we've established that level of trust and repeat business with them that they may rather want to deal with us than their local. So that's good. And we're with, like you said, the 700 billion visitors they get here, all the time. So yeah, I think all of those are factors as to why, it seems like one more thing to pack when you're going on vacation, but you're talking about essentially a briefcase that can have, anywhere from $50 of cards in it to $50,000 of cards in it. It's amazing what people have.
Wow. So again, the name just left me. I was thinking of schemes. And what's the name for the new pirate guy? What's his name?
Connor Griffin.
Connor Griffin. So do y'all have any Connor Griffins at the shop right now?
So again, I'm in Orlando. I've been gone. I was in Huntsville. I've been gone for about 4 or 5 days. Normally that wouldn't be enough time, but with as hot as he is, I'm not sure because I know we've had a bunch of people asking for him. So it's possible there's a few things left. It's possible they've all been run through. It's possible people came in today and sold us some. So it's not a cop-out, me trying to tell you to go to the shop. It's a legitimate, I'm not sure.
So are you opening the doors for people to sell to you?
Where's that?
In Orlando.
We will on Wednesday.
On Wednesday. Okay, I thought you were doing it ahead of time. I was like, wow.
Well, we were kind of hoping to. We didn't get every little thing in, that we wanted, to kind of have certain things buttoned up and finished. First impressions matter, and we always do our best to make sure that we've presented everything the best that we can, and so having everything in line, we're almost there. I'd say it's about 90%, but it'll be done by Wednesday, and looking forward to having people come in and check out what we got. Maybe they want to buy something. Maybe they want to sell something. So,
yeah. Well, give us the hours of PCB Hobby. I should know them by now, but I don't. Give us the hours and the location, Brian.
Yeah, so in Panama City Beach, right there on 11939 Back Beach Road, Panama City Beach Parkway, next to Florida Linen. We are 10 to 6 Monday through Saturday, and then noon to 6 on Sundays. We also have some organized gameplay on Thursdays and Fridays if you're into that sort of thing. And then in Orlando, I can tell you, for those of you who are coming to see Mickey Mouse, we're at 8972 Turkey Lake Road. That'll be A700. It's in a nice little strip mall there. Right across, I'm looking at the big wheel right now at Icon Park. So it's right across I-4 from that. It's in a great spot. And, we're looking forward to seeing people in Panama City Beach. And if you come down to Orlando, you can come see PCB Hobby here as well.
Well, we appreciate it. And Jeffrey, when he was there a couple of weeks back, he actually lost his Mickey ear. So he asked that you would pick him up a pair while you're down there in Orlando when you get back to PCB. So
I'll see if I can do that.
All right, my friend. Well, Brian, thanks so much for calling in, and we appreciate it. Have a good time and be careful. And y'all sell out on Wednesday.
We'll do it. We'll do it. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Thank you so much. When we come back, we are going to talk to the head baseball coach of Mosley Dolphins, Doug Lee. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your spot for college basketball.
And it goes in at the buzzer. Got it.
Listen to select games from the LSU Tigers, Florida Gators, the Auburn Tigers, and the biggest games around the country play here.
Three-pointer, clutch it in. Oh, you saw that coming, Raph.
The most live college basketball in the Panhandle.
Game is over.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida gets results. Here's Brandon Strickland from Recommended Collision Center, Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
At Recommended Collision Center, we're all about taking care of our community, and advertising on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has helped us do just that. Social media ads were getting stale, but the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson gave us a fresh way to reach local customers. We've seen more vehicles coming in for estimates, more phone calls, and more people recognizing our name. It's been a great partnership for our business, pairing up with 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
To see how 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida can help grow your business, go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button. Get your message heard and cut through the clutter. Go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button.
Live, local, and now worldwide. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. Serving the universe at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for college basketball in the Panhandle. Don't forget, Tomorrow night, 6:30 tip-off against Mississippi State should be a blowout. I'm calling it right now. The Gators are on fire. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, but I'm just saying, going to be a blowout for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Not even going to be close. They're going to run them out the building. All the Mississippi State fans said amen. I guarantee it. But either way, we're pumped up and ready to go. We got Coach Doug Lee of the Mosley Dolphins on the phone line. Coach, how you doing today?
Hey, Paul. How you doing? I'm doing great.
We are doing fantastic. Now, Coach, are you enjoying this weather right now? Because it's 70. I know y'all been practicing and playing, and it's been chilly at night.
Yeah, today was a great day. It felt like baseball weather for the first time.
So I'm glad of that. Coach, we talked to you coming into the season. You felt pretty good about your squad. And, honestly, we looked over your record. You're 6-1, looking really good. Tell us how it's been going.
Well, it's went good. To be in the position we are in the win-loss column, we're very pleased. We've really been banged up and really not at 100%, fully with our roster as far as injuries go. So to be where we're at right now, we feel really good, and we're really proud of this team and the tenacity they've had to fight through it.
Now, if you got some people banged up a little bit, are you having to depend on some of your kids that maybe we're going to be JV players, or is it just the other kids that are on the varsity team that's kind of stepping up and making plays?
Well, it's just been guys that maybe were two on the depth chart or getting opportunities, and then guys that, we really had question marks coming in that are getting opportunities that have been really good at times. And so, it's kind of one of the things you always hear, and I know it's cliche, but it's kind of like next man up. And so, fortunately, we've got some depth this year, and it's helped us and kind of get through this difficult part.
So there's been some games where you really look like you were stroking the baseball. Tell us some about these closer games. You had a 6-5 with Niceville, a 4-3 with Rutherford, a 6-3 with Bay. Those being close like that, what does that do for your team early on in the year to win those close ones?
Well, they say pitching and defense wins championships, and our pitching has been very good. Our team ERA is around about 1.82 right now as I look at it, and so that's been a key. I think we'd like to reduce the amount of, maybe some walks that we've given up, but other than that, we've pitched out of some jams, and our guys have pitched through some difficult spots and got us out of the innings when they come out of the bullpen, too. So I think that's been the start of it. We've played good D behind them, and then we've just had the timely hits when we needed them and figured out a way how to manufacture some runs at times.
Coach, are y'all playing any kind of small ball? Are you going to the old school Whitey Herzog type of baseball where you're throwing some small ball out there?
Well, we do whatever it takes, really. But yeah, we will play small ball at times, and again, we like to put the runners in motion. We're going to be aggressive, no matter who we play. So I don't like to sit back and wait for a 3-run double or a 3-run home run, obviously, like Earl Weaver did. But we definitely try to find ways to manufacture runs, and if we can get on base, we're going to be aggressive.
Well, thank you for that secondary comment, because our young listeners are going to be like, who's Whitey Herzog and who is Earl Weaver, for sure.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So, Coach, name some of the kids that's kind of been standing out this year and kind of leading the team. Give us some of your players there.
Well, offensively, it started with Brady Lee. He's leading the team right now at 417 clip, and has had some big hits. He had a 2-run double in the Bay game to break it open. He had a 3-run double against Niceville to get us back in the game. He had a double the other day against Crespi, gets there really good on that kind of seemed to affect their pitcher. He ended up struggling after that, and we got their big boy out, which helped us really start to break away in that game. But, Derek Ortiz, he's done a good job of getting on base. We kind of moved him up in the leadoff spot recently. Braden Nelson has really got on base for us and found ways. He's in the 9-hole, but he's gotten some big hits. And then C.J. Harris has had some big hits for us. So, it's been kind of accumulation of guys through the order. We'd like to get a few more guys that have kind of started slow, get them going, and I think they will. They always say the bats start off slow, and so, the month of February, that's kind of the tendency. Pitching is usually ahead, but I look for some of our guys that started off slow to break out of that. But, when you think about our mound, Ryan Harless, he's been the catalyst, obviously, in his 2 starts, and he came in off the bench the other night to get a 6 out and close it out against Niceville. But Hunter Bollinger, he's appeared 6 times in all 6 games that we've played, 6 out of the 7, I should say, and giving us some quality innings. Jake Yates, who was kind of, we didn't know what to expect coming in, but we liked his stuff. He's given us some quality innings and pitched really well. Carter Sanders had a great night the other night in the Niceville game. He came in when we were down 5-0 and threw 4 shutout innings, which was key to us winning that game. And then, we're just waiting to hopefully get Carter Payne back, and then Brady Lee's had a touch of bursitis, so we're hoping to get him back. And Brantley Davison has really come out of the bullpen to get us out of some jams. He's been kind of our go-to guy out of the bullpen, and so, we've had enough guys to just keep things at bay and give us a shot to win it.
Let me ask you this, Coach, because a lot of times we got a lot of dads that listen that their sons play baseball, and, a lot of times when I'm at the park or whatever, they'll come up and talk to me about, they appreciate hearing from the high school coaches and all of that. Let me ask you this. When you get up to that level, does it really matter where you are in the lineup? Because, it was kind of crazy. You said the second person that you named was your 9-hole hitter. How important is it to be able to not worry about where you are in the lineup, especially as a younger kid, and just produce from where you are?
Well, you're only as good as all 9 of them, honestly. If you only got 2 or 3 guys, they can kind of have a tendency to pitch around guys. But, our 9-hole guy really runs really well. So I kind of like to have a guy in the 9-hole that runs well, and because you kind of have like 2 leadoff guys back to back.
Yeah.
But we've had some guys in the middle of the order, top of the order. It's been a total team effort as far as finding ways to get on base, and it's been somebody new every night, being the big guy or having the big blow for the most part.
So I know you just are finishing up practice, so I don't want to hold you much longer. So this will be the last question, but this is one of those that I know that you probably know all about. What do you think about this whole thing with Major League Baseball now that they've got the computer helping out them umpires to make sure they get them strikes back? We've had a couple of calls. I think the other night Paul Skeens threw one that was about a half an inch outside of the strike zone that was overturned to be a ball. How do you like that with your umpiring background, Coach?
Well, I'm kind of old-fashioned, honestly. I like, I don't know. I don't know if I like the ABS, but obviously, you want to get plays and calls right, so I'm kind of in favor of that. It's kind of like I mentioned before, as an umpire, you have a overturned call in the first inning, and you're sitting over there thinking, "Oh my goodness, I hope I don't get overturned twice tonight." But
right.
So you really have to be mentally tough, and those major league umpires, they're some of the best. They are the best. Obviously, they wouldn't be in the major league, but. Some of those guys are cranking out 99%. That's just unbelievable. I know there's been some on their scorecard, I've seen them, that didn't miss a pitch the whole game, and that is just mind-boggling to me. So, but I know, there's other guys that their scorecard is not as good. But I think presentation from the catcher has always been huge for me as a plate umpire. And when you see a breaking ball could hit the bottom of the zone and possibly hit the dirt, that just don't look right to me. But the ABS may say that's a strike, so you got to go with it. But,
you're exactly right.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes this year.
Well, and like the other day when I was watching, it was Acuna batting, and that was the pitch that Skeens threw to him. And and obviously I've done just little kids and stuff like that, but being behind the plate, And it's just amazing because of how that ball just moves. I mean, even the 4-seam fastball, the 2-seam fastball, and along with all the sweepers and the breaking balls and all of this stuff, how that it can cut that plate and get in that strike zone. It's just like, gosh, dude, you guys think if you can do better, you just come back here and see what we're having to look at. It's a struggle. It's a really struggle to be back there.
Yeah, well, it is, and it's a tough job, but those are the guys I like to watch a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, thank you so much for taking time with us and being here. We're going to get out there to one of your games really soon, and we'll probably go live and check in with y'all. So we appreciate you taking the time out with us, Coach.
Coach, when is the tournament that y'all have next week? Where is that going to be at?
Well, it's another organization that's hosting it, but it's at the sports complex, public sports complex. A lot of it's going on there that we'll play in next week and the following week.
Oh, okay. Well, we might be able to come out there and check you guys out. So we do appreciate you coming on, though, Coach. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for all y'all do for high school sports.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. The great Doug Lee, everyone. Thank you so much for that. He's right though. When you look at how hard it is, and these Major League Baseball players, I mean, they're throwing 102,
I don't want that job.
103. I mean, they make over $100,000 a year. Oof. But gosh, it's so hard to make. Everybody in the building is watching, and then now they've got somebody that'll check you. Yeah. Like that's like being at your job and somebody coming behind you and saying, did you do this part right? Did you do this right? And you're like, yeah, of course I did it right. And they're like, wait a minute, let me look. And then they're like, nope, sorry, Jeffrey.
I've had micromanagers that worked over me, and I was like, oh my God, this is just like walking on eggshells.
Well, I will tell you this, we talk about micromanaging, and last week you kind of late a couple of times, and but today you wasn't. So good job. That's what I'm talking about. Not only were you not late, you were here early.
Yeah.
So, and your hair was fixed and you look really good. I mean, you're ready to go, man. So we're about to start this spring season off great.
I'm trying. They have a couple of games that, Mosley's going to be playing next week.
Yeah.
Apparently it's the 10th and the 12th. It's scheduled. Knoxville Central out of Tennessee.
Tennessee's going to be here. Yeah, that's awesome. Great show today. Don't forget tomorrow. We got some awesome stuff going on. Coach Lane Below of the Gulf Coast State Commodores is going to be in the building. Thanks for listening today. We will see you tomorrow. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. See you tomorrow, guys.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The number 7 Florida Gators are on a 9-game